how did that feel? Is it surprising you?
Not really. I'm pretty impressed with her ability to manifest.
I don't know. I'm a little shy about like a full makeout session. That's all.
Yeah.
Somebody says, get a room. That's probably a little bit too much.
I just think it just didn't work for us for whatever reason.
Is Sister Wives coming back in 2025? Or is season 20 already doomed before cameras even roll? Whispers of contract wars, Robin's total meltdown, and Christine's secret filming location in Utah have exploded across Reddit and Facebook groups. But that's not all. Insiders say Cody may have been cut entirely from the cast, while TLC scrambles to save the franchise. Are the OG wives about to steal the spotlight back for good? Or is season 20 just a smokescreen to cover up the real scandal? Stay locked in, because what we've uncovered will blow this wide open. And yes, there's leaked footage involved. It was supposed to be routine. A quiet Flagstaff morning, cameras gently humming in the background, just another filler shoot for future B-roll. Robin Brown sat curled into her favorite leather sectional, cradling a mug of herbal tea like she always did when she wanted to appear grounded. Her expression was calm, even serene. A peacekeeper on camera, the one who'd weathered the storm, but the mic pinned to her sweater didn't know the difference between performance and truth. And this time, Robin forgot where the show ended and where reality began. On the other end of a phone call, her voice shifted, low and confident. She spoke to her sister, Kendra, not like a woman grieving a fractured family, but like a strategist surveying the damage from a safe distance. Cody's still playing up the financial problems, she scoffed, swirling her tea. Come on, he signed off on the reorg. A pause, then a laugh, barely more than breath, and Janelle still thinks she's entitled to Coyote Pass. It's pitiful. Her words dripped with disdain, cloaked in a tone that was neither emotional nor conflicted. Just done. The producer just outside the frame froze. So did the audio tech. What they were hearing wasn't frustration, it was exposure. The kind of moment no PR team can walk back. Robin's mask didn't slip. It shattered. A second passed. Then Robin added with saccharine venom, God bless their hearts. They can't manage their kids, their marriages, or their money. Silence followed. The room wasn't quiet. It was electrified. Behind the scenes, staff exchanged glances. They'd captured something raw, something unfiltered, and now the question loomed like a bomb with a trembling fuse. Should TLC bury it quietly or detonate the truth? At TLC headquarters, the footage hit the editing bay like a live wire. Within minutes, it was flagged. Not for content, but consequence. Producers gathered in a private room, eyes locked on the screen, headphones tuned in. They watched Robin swirl her tea, call Janelle pitiful, laugh at Mary's struggles like it was a joke. It was a kind of footage networks aren't supposed to have. Honest, damning, irreversible. The debate wasn't whether it was real, it was whether airing it would ruin them or save them. One exec, voice tight with panic, asked the question out loud, if we run this, we're complicit. But if we bury it, are we protecting her or lying to everyone else? Another leaned forward, calm, calculating. It's not just footage, it's a reckoning. People want the truth. We've been tiptoeing around it for years. That night, the footage sat locked in a private drive, untouched, or so they thought. A junior editor, burnt out, underpaid, and wide-eyed with conscience, couldn't sleep. She transferred a clipped audio file onto a burner USB, passed it to a gossip blog she followed religiously, and walked away. By sunrise, it was everywhere. Robin exposed, Sister Wives scandal, clips flooded Twitter, Reddit, and YouTube. TikToks dissected every syllable. The internet didn't wait for TLC. It rendered judgment in real time. View counts soared. Subreddits ignited. And behind boardroom doors, TLC's silence became its own answer. The truth was out. Not because they told it, because someone decided the world deserved to hear it. Janelle sat on the edge of her rental bed, phone in hand. The screen paused mid-sentence. She hadn't even made it halfway through the leaked video. Her own name spoken like a punchline. Pitiful. Entitled. She pressed play again, as if maybe this time it would sound different. But it didn't. Robin's voice, laced with contempt, echoed through the quiet house. The mug in Janelle's hand trembled slightly before she set it down. She didn't cry. She just stared ahead, breath shallow, like someone had just told her the fire she'd spent years warming her family with was never real. It was just smoke. Meanwhile, hundreds of miles away in a hotel room in Utah, Mary was still laughing. That kind of dry, shocked laughter that crumbles into something uglier when it won't stop. She had told herself for years that Robin was just confused. Misguided. Hurt, maybe, but not cruel. And yet here it was. Proof, plain as sunlight. A woman she once called sister, mocking her, dismissing her. As if the pain Mary swallowed daily was a storyline Robin could rewrite, Mary's phone slipped from her hands. She didn't move to pick it up. The sob came fast, ragged and sudden, as if it had been waiting at the back of her throat for years. And then another. That night, she posted a single sentence to Instagram. A wolf disguised as a sheep is still a wolf, even if she cries while she's tearing you apart. For fans who had watched these women bend and break in silence for over a decade, the illusion was shattered. This wasn't just a feud. It was the betrayal of women who stayed too long, believed too much, and finally realized they were never wrong about her. They just didn't want to be right. Cody stared at the footage with clenched fists and hollow eyes, a man more desperate to believe a lie than confront the truth it illuminated. She didn't mean it like that, he insisted, voice low, jaw tight. You're twisting things. But the room around him disagreed. The air had grown heavier in their once cozy home, walls that echoed with laughter now pulsing with a strange and suffocating quiet. The scent of herbal tea didn't smell comforting anymore. It smelled like control. He stopped sleeping in their bedroom, said it was to give her space, but it wasn't space Robin needed. It was a mirror, and for the first time, Cody couldn't avoid his reflection in her words. The man who had once championed her as his peacekeeper, his gentle anchor, now found himself retreating into silence as she whispered bitterness into a microphone she didn't know was listening. Aurora noticed first. She had always defended her mother, always held the family line, but now the silence hurt more than the noise. "Mom, why did you say that?" she asked, in a voice so soft it made Robin flinch. "Do you even mean what you say when the cameras are on?" Across the room, Dayton didn't speak. He didn't have to. He just stood still, arms crossed, eyes narrowed. Not in rage, but in resignation. What once was a sanctuary had shifted into a mausoleum of illusions. The house wasn't just cold, it was broken. And for the first time, even Robin's children were starting to see the cracks in their mother's crown. The studio was stripped of glamour, no decorative backdrops, no cozy couches, just sterile walls, and silence heavy as grief. The women stepped into that emptiness, not as reality stars, but as survivors of a story they hadn't been allowed to tell. Christine's heels echoed across the floor as she entered, her red blouse burning against the washed-out set. Her smile wasn't for the cameras. It was for herself, a hard-won smirk of someone who had finally stopped apologizing. Mary and Janelle were already seated, their expressions unreadable but their eyes locked with hers. The air didn't crackle with tension. It pulsed with decades of unspoken truth finally ready to break free. When the moderator welcomed Christine and asked if she'd planned on attending, her answer landed like a thunderclap. Number. But then I watched the Robin video. Silence followed. Not awkward, reverent. Christine's voice stayed calm, but her hands trembled in her lap. I was told I was the problem. Too sensitive, too independent, too unwilling to obey. But I wasn't the one lying to the camera while stabbing my family in the back. She turned to the women beside her. We twisted ourselves to be fair, but fairness died the day Cody moved into Robin's house and never came back. The room froze. Mary wiped tears away without shame. Janelle nodded, jaw clenched. Then Christine's voice sharpened like a blade. Robin didn't just cry to deflect. She cried to control. She used tears like weapons, and we let her. The reckoning wasn't dramatic. It was surgical. Truth slicing through years of distortion. And for the first time in a decade, they didn't need edits or producers. Their pain was the story. And this time, they were the ones holding the pen. It started with a dimly lit TikTok, just Brianna's eyes peeking out beneath the hood of a sweatshirt. No music, no dancing. Just a caption, "The truth." Her voice trembled at first, but the words were unmistakable. A voice memo played. Robin's, cold and calculated. "If TLC makes me look bad, I'll cry again. That's what works. They won't betray me." Within minutes, the internet caught fire. Aurora followed. Sitting cross-legged on a couch, she stared straight into the camera. "I can't pretend anymore," she said, voice hoarse. "My mom? She's different when the cameras are off. She'd talk about Christine being fake, about how Mary couldn't be trusted, and we believed her, because we were kids." A pause, a breath, then, "Now I know better." What stunned viewers wasn't just what they said, it was how they said it. No drama, no edits. Just raw truth from daughters who'd been used as pawns in a war they didn't even understand. Brianna pulled out an old journal from the move to Flagstaff. In childlike handwriting, "Mom says Christine is jealous, but Christine always smiled at us. I don't get it." That sentence alone shattered millions of assumptions. They weren't rebelling to hurt their mother. They were reclaiming what she had taken, their clarity, their voice, their autonomy. It was more than a betrayal. It was a generational rupture. Robin hadn't just broken trust with the other wives. She'd fractured the bond with her own daughters. And now, the silence she once depended on had turned into the loudest indictment of all. Robin walked into court draped in gray, stripped of glamour, trembling but defiant. The cameras weren't rolling this time, but the entire country was watching. Her lawsuit demanded $3.5 million from TLC, alleging defamation, emotional trauma, and breach of contract. She painted herself as the scapegoat, a woman misrepresented by crafty editors and cruel ex-wives. But what followed was not sympathy. It was a dismantling. TLC's legal team didn't just defend. They detonated. They dropped email chains, internal memos, and signed waivers Robin had long forgotten. One message had her requesting reshoots of her confessionals to make Janelle look more jealous. Another, a demand that no unflattering interactions with Christine's children ever be aired. The courtroom buzzed as a season 17 production note surfaced, in which Robin asked that any family drama be shot with her sipping tea to reinforce her peacekeeper image. It was damning. Not just a behind-the-scenes schemer, an architect of narrative warfare. Then came the judge's question. If this was defamation, why are your own daughters contradicting you? Robin's composure cracked. She stammered about manipulation, insisted Christine had turned them. The judge interrupted. They are adults. They made their own choice. Cody sat behind her, face in hands. It was over. Outside the courthouse, fans captured a photo of Janelle, Christine, and Mary together, smiling, not smug, but satisfied. That night, Christine posted a photo of Robin's memoir on her bookshelf with a sticky note attached in Janelle's handwriting. One word, fiction. In court, Robin lost her case. But in the court of public opinion, she lost something far greater, the illusion of innocence she had fought so hard to script. 6 months after the courtroom defeat, Robin resurfaced, alone, unscripted, and desperate. She launched a YouTube channel titled Living in Love, Robin Brown, and My Path to Truth. Gone were the stylists, the TLC polish. In their place, pastel backdrops, trembling hands, and a hollow gaze. Her first video, They All Left Me, was a 12-minute plea. Tears, half-baked Bible verses, and quiet fury masked as reflection. But the comments weren't buying it. Manipulation 101. You're not sorry. Just sorry you got caught. Still, she pressed on. 2 days later came the fatal mistake. Meant to upload a soft behind-the-scenes vlog, she accidentally published 45 minutes of uncut raw files. Voicemails, voice notes, screen recordings, no edits, no filters. Just Robin, exposed. The internet captured it all before she could hit delete. One voicemail to Cody stood out, her voice trembling with rage. You promised to keep me safe. You let them destroy me. You owe me everything. Another, darker, whispered into her phone like a confessional. If sobbing doesn't work, maybe I should stage a breakdown. Something big, something that pulls them back in. Her tone wasn't broken. It was cold, calculating, mechanical. In that moment, the mask didn't just slip, it shattered. Not even her defenders could reconcile the woman sobbing on YouTube with the one plotting emotional manipulation in private. Overnight, the last threads of sympathy evaporated. Robin's comeback wasn't crushed by TLC or her ex-wives. It was undone by her own voice, raw, unfiltered, and finally, unmistakably real. In the wake of devastation, something unexpected bloomed, Sister Strong. TLC's boldest rebrand in years wasn't a continuation of Sister Wives. It was a declaration. No Cody, no Robin, no manipulation. Just Christine, Mary, and Janelle, unfiltered, unburdened, and finally united. The promotional teaser was spare. Golden hour light, wind-blown hair, 3 women side by side in a vast desert. But the message was thunderous. This was not survival. It was reclamation. Christine took center stage, not as a wife fighting for crumbs of affection, but as a mentor, mother, and voice for women leaving toxic spiritual unions. Her laugh came easier now. Less performance, more freedom. Janelle opened up about rebuilding her finances, candidly sharing how close she'd come to losing everything while defending her children's dignity. And Mary, long the ghost of the series, emerged with quiet strength. No longer asking to be chosen, she was choosing herself. Fans flooded forums and comment sections. I've never cried this much during a premiere. This is what healing looks like. The moment that defined it, a simple toast. 3 wine glasses raised in the golden desert light. Christine spoke first. To truth. Janelle followed. To peace. Mary, with a wry smile, sealed it. To finally being whole. There was no need to mention Robin. Her absence was the story. TLC had made its decision. The franchise had a new heartbeat, and it pulsed with resilience, solidarity, and truth. For once, the story wasn't about who was left behind, but who chose to rise. It began as a whisper, an unconfirmed leak, a blurry teaser, a rumor that couldn't possibly be true. But when the trailer dropped, there was no mistaking it. 2 silhouettes stood against the Utah skyline, backlit by golden dusk. The screen read, Breaking the Pattern, and underneath, in bold, Aurora and Brianna Brown. For years, they had been seen only through their mother's lens, loyal, silent, edited into obedience. But now, the daughters of the most controversial figure in Sister Wives weren't just speaking. They were owning the story. TLC handed them the mic, and what they delivered was raw, painful, and electrifying. It wasn't drama for ratings, it was generational reclamation. In the premiere, Brianna reads from a teenage journal. Mom said Christine was dangerous, that she smiled too much, that it was fake, but it didn't feel fake when she hugged me. Aurora, visibly shaken, reveals how they were told to stay silent, stay loyal, stay small. We were kids, weaponized without realizing it. But breaking the pattern wasn't a takedown. It was a rebuild. Each episode peeled back another layer of inherited silence, of warped loyalty, of mother-daughter pain. And each confession landed like a thunderclap, not because it was shocking, but because it was true. Finally, someone from inside the castle was speaking. Robin was nowhere in the credits, not even a shadow. This was their show, their legacy, their reckoning. For years, the world watched as the adults shaped the narrative. Now the daughters were breaking it, and in doing so, they weren't just ending a chapter, they were rewriting the story entirely. Season 20 isn't just about who's returning, it's about who's finally breaking free. And if even half these rumors are true, the next chapter of Sister Wives will be the most explosive yet. So tell me, do you think Robin's done for good? Or is TLC giving her one last lifeline? Drop your theories in the comments, hit that like button if you're as shocked as we are, and don't forget to subscribe for the raw, unfiltered truth every week. I'm Amin, and this is TLC Soapbox, where the drama isn't just watched, it's unpacked.